Good quarantine morning, LA. It's breakfast time. This morning on breakfast time, we're gonna be having the Big Burrito from North Hollywood's own Eat. But instead of having it delivered on Postmates like we did last week, we're gonna brave the outside world and go pick it up ourselves. Let's go get some breakfast.
It's the money.
Alright, so I have my food. Let's eat some breakfast. Alright, I'm back from Eat, and here it is, the Big Burrito. Alright, so first things first, we just taking a look at it. You can see it in this camera. We have potatoes in here. We have cheese as like this swirl in the middle here. We have all the bacon, and then of course eggs all packaged together. It looks like every single bite of this thing, you're gonna get every single ingredient. Now, if you're new to the channel, we rate all of our breakfast items in 4 categories. Number 1 is taste. Number 2 is distribution of ingredients. Number 3 is complexity or beautiful simplicity. And number 4 is the all-important value. So, without further ado, it's time to take a bite. Alright, so 1 bite down, and it's pretty good, you know? I didn't get as much of the flavors as I thought I was going to get. I'm thinking that on bites 2, 3 down the line, I will. But I got a lot of potato and I got a lot of tortilla. We always give as many bites as we need to understand the distribution of ingredients, but that first bite was not as good as I was hoping it would be. I'm gonna go in for bite number 2 and report back. That time I got right into like that cheese swirl in the middle that I talked about earlier, and that time it was a lot better than before. I got more egg, less potato, less tortilla, more bacon, and more cheese, obviously. Can't make a determination on taste yet. We gotta try the salsa. So I'm gonna do 1 more bite, and then we can start to get some of these ratings out. All right, so I'm gonna dip in this salsa. This looks like a house-made salsa. It's like a really rich red salsa. You can actually see some of the ingredients that they put in there, the pepper, things like that. So I'm hoping this has some spice to it. I'm hoping this has a little bit of flavor boost to it. So here we go. All right. So for the second week in a row, the salsa comes in and saves the day. I mean, this salsa is absolutely killer. It has like a smoky kind of chipotle flavor to it. And it also has a little bit of a kick, not much. I mean, if you are not a fan of spice, you're still gonna be fine with this. It just adds so much to the burrito. I mean, I would actually say the salsa is excellent and it goes above and beyond, but it kind of overshadows the burrito itself. Okay, so it is time for the all-important ratings. I think the first thing and the most important thing to most people that we have to rate is gonna be, how does it taste? And the answer is, it tastes fine. It looks great, but it tastes just okay. Without the salsa, which we'll get to in a second, without the salsa, this is a 5 for taste. The big reason that we can't go higher than a 5 is because of our next category, distribution of ingredients. Now for me, any potato is more or less too much potato, but this one, I bite into it and that potato just takes over everything. It is the only flavor in some bites. And then in other bites, the main flavor that I'm getting, or at least the main consistency that I'm getting, is tortilla. It's kind of wrapped over. And if you're gonna call your burrito the Big Burrito, it needs to be filled to the brim, basically bursting at the seams, thinking Chipotle burrito sized. That is a big burrito. This is not. So overall distribution of ingredients is a 6. This leads to what is my favorite category, the complexity or beautiful simplicity. Now, this is where we're going to talk about this salsa. This is not your grocery store Tostitos salsa. This has a lot of flavor, a lot of smoke, a lot of chipotle flavor, a lot of peppers. You can see the ingredients when you look into the bowl. And this salsa by itself would get a 7 on this scale. The burrito, on the other hand, is not complex. It's pretty simple, but it is not beautifully simple. I'm going to go back to it again. You're going to hear me say it over and over again. Potatoes, 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 potatoes. I don't want potatoes in my breakfast burrito. Stop doing it. It's filler. And it ruins the beautiful simplicity of this burrito. If they had stuffed this thing full of egg and bacon and even more cheese than they put in it, we would be talking about an absolutely beautifully simple burrito, and it would probably taste better too. But instead, they went with the filler, they went with the potatoes, and it suffers for it. So, in terms of beautiful simplicity, this is a 6. Finally, the all-important value. Everyone is paying attention to how much they're spending now. So, is this thing worth your money? Well, this burrito, as it is presented to you right now on Postmates, is $11.45, which in Los Angeles is not terrible. It does come with the delicious salsa. It also comes with a side of hash browns. I would say as a value, $11.45 for a burrito and potatoes with this salsa, it's a 6 for me. If this burrito was $8 and you didn't get potatoes, I would say 7, 8, 9 even. Because even though you might not be getting the most delicious thing in the world, you aren't spending that much. But for $11.45, I expect something that's at least above average. And this is right in the middle of the road. That brings us to a final score of 23 out of 40. That's unfortunate, especially considering how much I like Eat as a restaurant. I was excited for this burrito, and unfortunately, it let me down a little bit. If you guys know of a place that I need to go in the greater LA area, leave it in the comments. A comment on last week's video has already given me a suggestion of somewhere to go in the future, and I already have it on the calendar. So I am reading the comments. I am going to take that seriously. I don't know every breakfast place in LA, so I'm counting on you to help me out. Please subscribe to the channel and make sure that you hit that bell so you know every single time we upload a new video. I'll see you next week on Breakfast Time.